Today is Saturday, which means it is park run day, and I'm going to be taking on the windiest park run I have ever done, and that is West Beach Park Run. So in this video, I'm going to be telling you everything that you need to know about this park run whilst also trying to achieve my fastest time. So let's get into it. West Beach Park Run is located directly west from the Adelaide CBD on the west coast in South Australia. The park run, like all the others here in South Australia, starts at 8 AM and it is a flat out and back course all on surface paths, so there is no need for trail shoes, and I definitely recommend wearing road shoes. It is also good to note that it is buggy/pram friendly, it is dog friendly too, and there are public toilets literally right by the start line, so you can't really get much closer than that. The park run is a busy one with 331 runners on the day, and it can get quite congested as the paths are not too wide. And with it being out and back too, once people have done that U-turn and the far end, then they are running towards you too, so it can get even more congested. In terms of whether you're going to get a PB or not, if you're out near the front, then maybe you have a good chance of getting that PB because you do get stuck behind people towards the start. So if you are looking to get a quick time, then try and position yourself at the front of the run. However, with how windy it was on the day, I couldn't see anyone getting a PB on the day which I did it. However, if it's a really nice and calm day, then maybe you have that chance of getting one. There are also little inclines and declines which will slow you down, so it isn't completely flat, so there are probably quicker ones in and around the area. But in terms of the scenery, it is a really nice one. So you're initially running alongside the beach and then you head your way inland along the river. So lots of distractions to keep your mind away from the running itself. But before we do go any further, if you don't know what a park run is, it is essentially a 5K run which is ran by a group of volunteers. They both time and marshal the event. When you hit that finish line, you'll be given a finish token, and that will be scanned alongside your own personalised barcode, which you'll then be sent an email with your finish time and position later on. And now let me take you through a quick summary of the course. So you're going to start alongside the coast, do a quick loop here and head your way under the bridge and along the river. So you're then going to do a U-turn and head your way all the way back, and you can see that most of the elevation is from this section onwards. So you're climbing back up to the top of the bridge and back to the finish line. So it's got an elevation gain of around 24 meters and a max elevation of just 8 meters. That is a quick summary of the course, but now I'm going to take you through West Beach Park Run in a little bit more detail. Starting off here right by Seaview Road and heading your way up towards the north. So it's a slight downhill as you pass that beach break cafe and head your way to Breakout Creek, where you'll do a swooping right-hand turn, and then it's a slight incline up to Seaview Road again, and you're going to do a sharp left-hand turn across the bridge, another sharp left-hand turn, and now it's a slight decline as you head your way onto the River Torrens Linear Park Trail, doing a U-turn here, and then you are on that path alongside the river. So you're going to keep making your way all the way along this path up to Davis Bridge, where you'll do a quick U-turn and head your way all the way back along this path. However, on the way back is when you will feel the wind. So someone will have to let us know down in the comment section below, one of the locals who comes quite often, whether it is always windy or whether some days you get quite lucky and there is no wind at all. But it does feel like a wind tunnel, especially on the day today. You then do that U-turn and head your way back up to the Seaview Road onto the bridge, do a sharp right-hand turn, sharp right-hand turn again, do that swooping turn, and then it is a gentle incline all the way up towards that finish line. So it's a fairly simple park run. There's quite a few sharp U-turns in this one and sharp left and right turns too, so that is obviously going to slow you down, but you're going to see it in just a moment just how difficult it is and how busy it gets too. But now you know a little bit more about the course, let me take you through some incredible park run records which have been set here at West Beach Park Run. Starting off with the fastest male, who is Adrian Potter, which I've seen before on a couple of the other park runs, and he's got a time of 14 minutes and 41 seconds, which is unbelievable. The fastest female is Isabel Hume with a time of 17 minutes and 38 seconds. So again, a really speedy time. And the average number of runners is 327 with an average time of 32 minutes and 12 seconds. So that is definitely one of the quicker ones, which we have seen whilst being in and around Adelaide. And now I'm going to take you through a couple of my stats. So the total number of park runs so far is 88, and then the total number of locations is 64. My best finish position was 4th in Zoloni Jar. My fastest times range from 22:32 down to 23:09. So at the moment we're chalking off our time, and hopefully one day we'll be able to knock Grangemore off of this parkrun leaderboard. And now we are making our way down to event number 463 of West Beach Parkrun. And as you can see, it is really busy and very congested, and they are currently organising people into position based off what time they think they will get. And unfortunately, we've been unable to make it onto the path in our section. So we're currently stranded on the outside of the path, and we're going to have to make our way onto it in just a moment. But the parkrun is going to be starting in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and we are off. So even though we're not moving right now, we've lost a few seconds here. We're going to have to start overtaking some people, otherwise we're going to lose too much time. We're going to cut across there too, and hopefully we'll get onto the path in just a second. But if you want to be on the surface path, I'd maybe get on there before the director puts you into position. So there we go, we're on now, and thankfully we're not running into a hedge, which is good. However, we are boxed in, so we're gonna have to keep at this pace. There's the car park there on the right hand side too, so if you do want to park at this park run, that is the perfect one, really close to the start as you can see. And also, if you have got this far, you must be enjoying this video, so I'd really appreciate it if you smash that like button and subscribed if you are new, as we get a park run out each week. But we're going to continue on this surface path. So you can see the elevation right now is 7 meters, so that will probably go up and down throughout this video. So let's see how we get on as we go over this first half kilometer. So we're currently about half a kilometre into this run. The elevation is at 9 metres, so we've only gone up by 2 metres, so not much elevation so far. Running alongside the West Beach, which is on the left-hand side and towards the creek. So thankfully it has opened up a little bit now, so we're able to run at our sort of pace, which is currently around 5 minutes per kilometre. So a little bit slower than the last few. Well, I say the last few. Cleveland was last week, and we were walking at some sections. It was that difficult, so you definitely got to go back and check that one out if you haven't seen it already. But we're able to start picking up the pace now, and hopefully we can go for a decent time. And if you do want any information on any of the elevation or my paces / splits per kilometre, then I'll leave a little link to my Strava in the description below, so you can go and check that out. This is quite a nice day today though, not too warm, which is a good news as well, because obviously that makes it just that bit harder. But we're now making our way towards the road again. We'll be crossing over the bridge. And so there's a gentle bit of an incline here, so you make your way up to the bridge, and you might be able to see people are now crossing it, and you should be able to see when we turn left right now, there's people actually down at the bottom section. You see they're going down to go underneath the bridge, so it's a little bit of a windy one in this section, but thankfully it's a little bit of downhill once you turn left now. So it's going to be a sharp 90-degree turn. Then you're going to head your way down to the boardwalk, which is onto the long trail walk, which you'll be then alongside the river. And the wind is actually going to be behind you in this section. So it's pretty good for now, the wind. However, when we do that U-turn at the far end, it gets a lot harder. But you can see just how congested it is. And you may have seen in a few sections of the video so far that sometimes when the public is coming the other way too, it makes it even more congested. And you'll see a bit later on when the runners are coming back after they're doing that U-turn, it gets even more congested. So do be wary of people going both directions. But now onto the boardwalk alongside the river. So now let's try and pick up that pace. So that first kilometre we ran at a time of 4 minutes and 31 seconds. So although we lost that time at the start, we were able to pick it up and get to a very good place. So hopefully we can keep at this pace, but we will have to see. I believe we're now in the Cynthia Anderson Reserve, which is why it looks so stunning there on the right and the left-hand side. So you'll be able to hear quite a lot of wildlife going on in the background too, and you can see that it is pretty flat throughout the whole of this section, just fluctuating between sort of 6, 7 and 8 meters. So we're just overtaking a guy walking his dog. Don't want to run into them. We've got a young blood fan there in front of us too. You can see that with his top on there, so that's pretty cool to see too. But hopefully if we can keep at this pace, we should be able to get a pretty quick time. But we've got the wind behind us right now, and when we turn around, it's going to be going against us. And we've now hit that 2 kilometre mark. Still running at 4 minutes and 31 pace, which if we can keep this, that'll be our Aussie PB. But whether we can do that or not, we will have to see. So overtaking a couple more of the public right there. Some really nice like benches and places to sit, have a picnic too alongside the reserve. So I definitely recommend doing that, and do watch for cyclists as well, because obviously they're going a lot quicker than the runners. And we'll begin to see in a moment people on their way back who have done that U-turn at the far end and are heading on their way back towards that finish line. There's also someone else which I believe was recording on the day too, which is just ahead of us, so we'll have to see whether we can slip into their video or not. But we're still doing well. 4:31, if we can keep like this, it will be perfect. The elevation's not changing much at all either, and it's all on surface paths, so can't complain. Pretty quick one. We're coming up now towards that halfway point, still running at about 4:31 per kilometre. And the guy which we just overtook then was the other guy that was filming on the day, and he sort of does like sprints. So he goes quickly for a bit, then slows down for a bit, quickly for a bit, so he must be training for something. But this is where the U-turn is right now. So you can see people running back towards us, and we're going to be doing that U-turn. So it's a quick U-turn, and then we're going to lose probably a couple of sections and then head our way back. So there's a volunteer to make sure that you don't go all the way past them and head your way all the way down the river, because otherwise you're never going to get to that finish line. But now we're heading our way back towards where we started, running at around 4:31. There's that guy which I was talking about who's just ramped past us too, and hopefully we can keep at this pace, because right now I'm buzzing. And we have now hit 3 kilometres, running at a 4 minutes and 32 pace. Me just checking my pace there on my phone too, but it is really pretty. However, we can now feel the wind. So it's like a wind tunnel running up here. It's like pushing you back loads, slowing you down. So this is definitely going to affect our next kilometres split time, but we've managed to make a lot of time on the first few kilometres. So hopefully that'll make up for the last 2 kilometres, but we will have to see. Another 500 meters done, and we're now running at about a 4:44, so we've definitely slowed down, and that is 100% because of the wind. So it really does funnel down this riverside, and you just get hit by it when you're running this way, and then when you're on your way out, it feels really nice and easy. So definitely conserve some energy for the second half, as you will find it is a lot harder. So if we can keep at this though, we should be able to get under that 25 minutes, which is what I usually aim for with my park run. So hopefully we can manage to do that. So let's keep like we're going, and hopefully we'll do it. 4 kilometers down, and just 1 kilometer remains. And what I do quite like about this park run is there's loads of distractions, from all the wildlife, the beach, the river, to the path. So you've obviously got all the cyclists to look out for, the dogs, the public, and so there's loads of things to keep your mind occupied whilst you are running, which I did actually quite like about this one, although it is a bit congested, so it can be pretty hard to overtake. But we're now making our way back towards that bridge. So there's going to be a little bit of an uphill, and this is probably the strongest part of the wind too, because it's obviously right near the start of the wind tunnel. So we are struggling right now to hold the pace, and we are slowing pretty quickly. So hopefully we can keep a pace which is quick enough to get under that 25 minutes, but we will have to see. Beautiful beach though, so if you do come back, you can go and chill out on the beach after. Maybe go for a swim to cool down too is a good idea, especially after one of the hot days. So this is where we head under the bridge, and you may have seen some of the runners up at the top, which is where we're going to be heading in just a second. So under we go. Beautiful views of the beach. Obviously the fence thing slash the railing, sorry, is actually blocking it on this video, but you do get amazing views over the top of that railing. And you can see now that we're about to do that U-turn. It's a slight incline up to the bridge, which makes it even harder. So windy and incline is not ideal. Again, watching out for the public. You can see there's some people running around just in general, so you don't want to run into them. They're not doing the park run. Fast little push up this hill, and then we're going to turn off to the right and cross that bridge, heading our way towards the finish line. Just look at that beach with the white sands and the blue waters. All of the west coast of Adelaide is absolutely stunning. So you've got to go to all the different beaches. And on my main channel, I've actually got a couple of vlogs from Glenelg Beach, Brighton, Seacliff, Henley. So if you do want to check any of those out, my channel is at Sheppy10, which I will leave a little link to in the description below too, so you can go and check those vlogs out. But this is the park run video, still all on hard standing surfaced paths, which makes it a little bit easier. However, there is the gentle incline now towards that finish line. So this last kilometre has been run with a time of 4 minutes and 57 seconds. So by far our slowest, and that was definitely a struggle, that last bit, because of just how windy it was and the small little inclines. But you're not going to finish exactly where you started. So we're actually almost there. Quick sprint finish from them there on that right hand side. But what time can we get? Can we get under 24 minutes potentially? We've got under 25, that is guaranteed now. But can we get under 24? It's that fast little push towards the end. Beautiful scenery right at the end there too, taking over the other person which was recording there too. On the left hand side, the final push, and it's going to be a quick finish line too as you turn off to the left, and there it is, and we get a time of 23 minutes and 54 seconds, given our finish token there too, which was in 59th position. So really buzzing about that, able to get that sub 24, which I was really happy with because I was aiming for a sub 25, managed to get a minute less than that, so that is really good news. And overall, really windy, but I am going to now take you through a quick summary of West Beach Parkrun. West Beach Parkrun complete, ticking off the 4th W, which we have done in the alphabet, and it is also the first time I have ever done a park run with West in it. So that ticks off West from our Compass Club Challenge 2. And then finally, the position bingo challenge. We actually managed to come in 59th, which we have never done before either. So that is 3 different challenges which we've been able to complete at this park run, despite not being able to get our PB. In terms of the course, if you're going to get a PB, I'd make sure to get right out near the front to begin with. And also, there are probably quicker ones than this one. So although it is flat and it is all on surface paths, because of how windy it was, it definitely slows you down. So I don't know whether on other days maybe it's not as windy and you could get that PB, but I think there are definitely quicker ones in and around Adelaide. Although it was nice and distracting with the beautiful scenery around, and the volunteers made it just that extra bit special. So a massive thank you to all of the volunteers who were there on the day, because without them, these park runs can obviously not go ahead and they have to compete with just how windy it is, especially the volunteers who are down that funnel section. They must be getting battered for an hour straight. But now, as I always do, I'm going to take you through a couple of the pinch points. So these are the points which are going to slow you down and stop you from getting that PB time. Starting off with pinch point number 1, which is the congested start. So obviously at the start we lost quite a few seconds just trying to weave in and out from around people, and also it is quite congested throughout the rest of the park run. However, there is just about enough space to start overtaking people, especially once you hit that river section. Pinch point number 2 is going to be the U-turn. So we've got a few U-turns. We've got the one as we just come off the bridge, do a U-turn and head our way to the river run. And then we've also got the one right at the far end where it's at the halfway point, and it is a very sharp U-turn. So you'll probably lose a couple of a couple of seconds just there. And then the final one I'll probably say is the slight inclines. So just a couple of slight inclines going up towards the bridge, and also when you're coming up towards the end there's a slight incline too, which just makes it that little bit harder and it is going to slow you down. And then pinch point number 4, which is the big one, that is windy. It was so windy on the day, it was getting pushed back, slowing us down loads. So if you get there on a day where it's not windy at all, then maybe you'll get a much quicker time. But that is going to be all of the pinch points for this park run. But if you do have any of your own, then do make sure to let me know down in the comments section below. But now you know all about throughout this park run, I'm going to take you through a few tips and tricks on how to get to the park run and where to go for that post-park run coffee. So we're going to start off with public transport. So there are actually no train or tram stops nearby, so I wouldn't recommend getting either of those. However, there is a bus stop really close to the start, and that is 13A Military Road, which is just a 4-minute walk, and you can use Google Maps, and there's a couple of buses listed up here which do go to this stop. But I definitely recommend just on the morning, wherever you're staying or if you're at home, just going onto Google Maps, seeing which is the quickest route via public transport and taking that. And then if you're thinking of driving to this park run, there are plenty of car parking spots in these two car parks along Seaview Road. So there's one here and then there's one here. So obviously one is closer than the other. However, there's ample parking in both of these, so you're not going to need to worry about getting there too early to get yourself a spot. And then finally, the most important part of this video, where to go for that post-park run coffee and cake. So everyone heads over to the West Beach Surf Life Club, and that is literally just 700 meters from the finish line, which is about a 10-minute walk, and there's loads of options of other cafes too, if you did want to try any of those out and you weren't a massive fan of that one. So in terms of cafes, there's plenty to go to, and you get beautiful views of the beach. You can probably get a takeaway too, go and sit on the beach, and that will be beautiful. So those are all of my tips and tricks for this park run, but if you do have any of your own, then do make sure to let us know down in the comment section below, especially if you're a local. But now it is time to take a look at my after run stats, where not too much has changed, unfortunately, as we've not managed to get a PB time. So starting off with the number of runs, which is 89, and the number of different locations, which has now gone up to 65. So we're not far off that Cow Club now. We're over halfway. The best finish position is 4th, and my fastest times still all remain exactly the same as they did at the start. Thank you very much again to West Beach Parkrun for hosting, and if you have got this far, I'd really appreciate it if you smash that subscribe button, because 80% of you who are watching right now are not subscribed, and you want to be, as you don't want to miss all of the other park runs which are coming up in the future. And also, you should go and check out last week's park run. So that one was in Cleveland, which is one of the hardest park runs I have ever done, and that one was insane. Incredible panoramic views too of the Adelaide CBD. Or you can go and check out all of my other park runs in the Worldwide Park Run playlist, which has them from all over the world, including Europe, Asia, and now Australia too. Next week though, we're heading over to Strathalbyn, which is a slightly hillier course, so I don't think we're going to be able to get an Aussie PB there, but we'll give it a good shot, and it's get a little bit more of a trek from the Adelaide Centre too. So I hope you're looking forward to that one, and do make sure to smash the like button if you enjoyed this one, and I'll see you all next week with another park run video.